If your goal is to build muscle, there's one thing that matters more than anything else: protein. But not just protein, it's how you use it. And let me tell you, I see people overcomplicating this all of the time. And that's why I'm here today, to simplify it. So many people are worrying about the perfect timing, the perfect shake, the perfect post-workout window, but they're not even hitting enough protein across the day. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the smartest way to use protein to build muscle. And yes, that does include timing to an extent, but also how much you actually need and where supplements fit in. Are they actually necessary? But before we get into timing, we need to start with the foundation, because if this part's not right, nothing else really matters. The most important thing when it comes to building muscle, assuming that you already have a good strength training routine dialed in, is your total daily protein intake. Not timing, not supplements, your total intake. And a really simple way to think about this is aiming for 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight. So that might not be your current weight necessarily, but the one you're aiming for. And this gives you a clear target, because let me tell you, most people's daily protein intake is nowhere near this. A lot of people think they're eating enough protein in the day until they track for a day. 2 eggs as a protein source at breakfast? That's not enough. That might get you about 10 grams if you're lucky. And then lunch, maybe you're getting 15. Dinner, 20. And suddenly you're sitting at 40 to 50 grams total for the day. That's not enough to support muscle growth. That might not even be enough to maintain what you already have. So before you think about timing, ask yourself this: am I consistently eating enough protein every day? Because if the answer is no, this is what you need to focus on first. Now, once your total protein is in place, this is where timing starts to matter. Not in a complicated way, but in a strategic one. Because if you really want to maximize muscle growth, then yeah, timing does matter a little bit more. And the first key moment is around your workouts. After a strength training session, your muscles are more sensitive to protein. This is where your body is trying to actively repair and rebuild. So having protein within that post-workout window, that can be beneficial. Now, the idea that you only have that 30-minute tiny anabolic window, that's overblown. That's not what we're talking about here. But generally, getting protein in a couple of hours after your workout, that's a good target to aim for. And this is where protein shakes can be useful. Not because they're magical, but because they're convenient and you know exactly how much protein you're getting. If you've just finished a workout and you're not going to eat a full meal straight away, a shake is an easy way to get your protein in. But a lot of people go wrong here because they start relying on shakes as their main source of protein, when really, it should be food. And this is where I want to be really clear. Food should always be the foundation. Meat, eggs, fish, dairy. These are all excellent protein sources that are highly bioavailable. And as a bonus, they come with other micronutrients as well. Protein powder should be there to fill the gaps, not to replace entire meals. And while we're on the topic of protein powders, let me just say that most of the ones on the market are not great. They're filled with sugar, artificial sweeteners, fillers, gums. And while they're marketed as healthy, they're often just ultra-processed products. And this is why I always say that whole food protein sources should be first. But if you do need to fill those gaps, then make sure you're choosing a high-quality protein. And because I know I'm going to get asked, the one that I personally use and that I like is from Equip. It's very minimal, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial sweeteners, and most importantly, it tastes good. Because that's another issue. Most clean protein powders that I've tried do not taste great. But again, don't rely on protein powder. A shake right after your workout, that can be a great tool. But if you have the chance to eat a meal instead, definitely go that route. Now, something else that's been getting a lot of traction recently, probably in the last 5-10 years, is collagen powder. And there's a lot of confusion around this that I want to clear up. One misconception I want to clear up is that collagen is actually an incomplete source of protein. That means it doesn't contain all the essential amino acids, like meat, seafood, and animal products do. So collagen cannot be your only source of protein. But if you're choosing the right collagen, it can have benefits. The problem is that a lot of collagen supplements, they're generic, which is why you'll often hear experts saying that collagen powder is a waste of money, that you might as well just eat protein or use a protein powder. But this is where things get interesting because there are some collagen supplements that are different. Ones that contain bioactive collagen peptides. These are designed differently and actually have some really solid research behind them. Instead of just being a general protein source, they're made up of specific peptides that can actually target certain functions in the body. One of those being muscle. Now, one I've recently been experimenting with is Muscle Boost from Sparkle Wellness. It uses body balance collagen, which is a specific type of bioactive collagen peptide that's been studied for muscle support. Now, I've only recently started using this consistently, and I'm really curious to see the results. I'll definitely report back in a couple of months and let you know what I've noticed. But the science behind this type of collagen is actually really promising. So this is one to watch. But again, it's not a replacement for protein, full stop. But it is something with the potential to enhance your results. Okay, now let's zoom out, because it's very easy to get caught up in all of these details. Timing, supplements, types of protein. So let's step back and look at the hierarchy. The first thing to look at is your total daily intake for the day. Are you getting enough consistently? Once that's dialed in, then you can start looking at timing around workouts. And if you're really struggling to get enough protein in during the day, if you're experiencing the side effects of not eating enough protein that go beyond muscle, things like being hungry throughout the day, having constant cravings for sweets specifically, if your hair, skin, and nail health is struggling, if that's the case, then you might want to supplement. But again, supplements can be a tool. They're not the foundation. And this is where people get stuck. They're looking for the perfect supplement, the perfect strategy. But it's not one size fits all. Doing the basics consistently is what is going to matter the most. The basics are what actually work. So if you take anything from the video, let it be this. Protein timing does matter, but total intake matters more. Now, I'm curious to hear from you guys. Do you struggle to build muscle? Do you think you're not eating enough protein? Let me know in the comments down below. And make sure to check out my video on 20 ways to get 30 grams of protein in through food. I'll put that on the screen now so you can watch it next.